TechCrunch had reported in May that Microsoft once wanted to purchase Slack for $8 billion before bailing on that plan to work on its own solution integrated with Skype. Well, here we go. Skype Teams is about to be Microsoft's version of group messaging for Teams. It's going to have a lot of familiarities. Now, this is kind of an exclusive. This is a leak, so it's not officially released at this point. We don't know exactly when this is going to launch, but sometime, it's far along enough in development that we know a lot of things about it. It's going to have channels similar to Skype for different groups or discussion topics. Direct messaging, of course, video calls in the channels and privately, of course, because this is a Skype product, and Skype's benefit, I suppose, over maybe Slack would be the video aspect, the video call aspect.
You can do video calls in Slack now too.
But Skype's been doing it for longer. So there. I have to imagine they're going to talk that up a little bit. Online meeting scheduling, threaded conversations, which Slack does not have. Similar to Facebook or discuss comments. Office 365 integration, also Slack does not have that, and is planned to launch for Office 365 users at first. So that's probably going to be a big part of this kind of collaboration, Office 365, into this group messaging thing. Are we going to jump ship? Because we use Slack for this show.
We use Slack for this show, and it makes us so productive, doesn't it?
Yeah, all of those Jiffies or Giphies, whatever you want to say, all those little animations of random words that come up in conversation. Let me tell you, it keeps us on track and on point.
I have one question. What about Yammer? Where's the love for Yammer? Yammer?
What is Yammer?
Yammer was the Microsoft tool that was for collaborate. It was like the Office Twitter or the Office chat. It was Yammer. No one ever used it because the reason people use Slack is because it's cool and it's very hard, aside from Xbox, for Microsoft to make anything that anyone considers cool. So, yeah.
Ouch.
But productivity is really important.
Yeah.
And
yes.
I do think for the enterprise, that's going to become more and more important. I heard a report on NPR about this today, just like everyone always says, Facebook is ruining our productivity. And they have nothing that proves that. But what they say is that, productivity means more output, and more output means a company gets more money, and more money means you get a raise, and you get a raise means your standard of living is higher. And if that slows down, that means our standard of living doesn't get higher. And every decade, I guess, or every generation until now, our standard of living has doubled. And so this is serious. And what they say is that there hasn't been any real innovation like electricity that makes employees more productive. All the apps and smartphones, this is not making us any more productive. They think
it keeps us busier, but I don't know if we're more productive.
And nothing since the late 90s has made workers more productive. So I do think this is going to become important. But I don't know if it's Slack Teams. What's it called? Skype
Teams. Yeah.
Skype Teams is going to do it.
Skype Teams versus Slack. Just from a naming standpoint.
Right, I know.
It's 2 words versus 1. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm going to go with a simpler option. No,
Yeah.
I don't know. I understand where you're coming from, though. I would venture to say, though, that the smartphone is one of those, maybe smartphone to electricity, not quite the same thing, but that has come along and really redefined a lot of things. But I think what you're saying there is has that made us any more productive necessarily?
Right. It's redefined.
Keeps us pretty busy though. I don't know if that's a good or a bad
it's-
thing, but it does.
It redefines the way we work. We
the
can
way we
work
spend our
at
time.
home. We can work at the park.
For sure.
We can work in the bathroom. I don't do that, but we could.
Somebody does.
But does it make us more productive? I don't know, because we're also Snapchatting and Twittering and Facebooking and chatting and doing everything. So I don't know.
Yeah. And one final thing, because we talked a little bit about Giphy/Jiffy, depending on how you pronounce it. They're going to replace that with the fun picker for things like emojis and GIFs and memes. So you're still going to have your fun in the tool, and they're going to call it that. That's all I got.
Okay.